Straya, how are you going? Hey, good you should be. Why is that, Jim? Well, the conference finals are set. Because despite a horrible blowout Game 7 today, we've still got some pretty tasty basketball ahead. That's right. This is NBA Straya. It is Monday, May 18. I'm your host, James Clements, here in Larry Armour Studios, talking out a effort from the Pistons in a huge win for the Cleveland Cavaliers. We're going to talk that out. We've got the game wrap. We've got That's Not a Knife, Old Mate, No Mate, Spud of the Night, Better Than Lonzo Ball. Got some news. We'll do some quick yeah-nahs and unpopular opinion of the day in Outback Takehouse, where we're serving up a flame-grilled take. We're going to do an Andrew Gay's Great MAMBA Award for Outstanding Achievement in the Field of Excellence and pick and preview and set up the Western Conference Finals. Game 1 for tomorrow. So that'll be good, I reckon. So without further ado, let's get into it. Episode 1407 of NBA Straya. Let's go!
This is Josh Giddey.
G'day, this is Andrew Gay.
This is Jack White.
This is Joe Ingles.
This is Dyson Daniels.
This is Chris Anstey.
This is Matthew Delvedova.
This is Shane Hill.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening and watching NBA Straya.
This is NBA Australia. Let's do it.
Watch out for the shark attack.
You better watch out for the boogie attack as well. He's been everywhere this week, hasn't he? Oh, look, it's an NBA player kicking a footy. Oh, isn't that cool? Oh, God. Hey, geez, I reckon we could use you out there, DeMarcus. Really? You think that Boogie Cousins would be good at footy? The 7 foot, 300 pound dude who's just going to monster. Shut up. I don't know. Cross sport stuff. It needs to be more delightful. The pie, like, oh, wow, gee, Willikers, Mr. Cousins. It blows my mind. Anyway, but yeah, there you go. DeMarcus Cousins versus Ben Cousins. That's all I want to see. A Cousins off. Anyway, let's move on. It's just so stupid. Good to see Jock and Nick Kyrgios doing all their things. Don't know what's going on there, but no one asked me to show up, so yeah, I'm not going to give it any time. Let's get into the daily whip around. That's right, it's a whip crack, isn't it, Jim? Yes. Yes, it is. Your MVP was also announced. And when I say announced, I mean spoiled by that little fucking dickhead, Shams. It's revealed that SGA's going to win his second straight MVP. Shut up, nerd! And that's what Blake Griffin called him on the tally, which was fun. Anyway, so the MVP back-to-back for SGA in actually a bit of a landslide, more than I would have expected. 83 first-place votes for SGA, which is a lot, right? Like, I think when we go through these sorts of things and, like, when you look at the sort of year that Jokic had, and I mean, as I sort of said, I'm just going to put Jokic. I don't really care. Because like, his statistical season is just absurd. But when you have like that sort of like season that Jokic did, you sort of maybe expect them to split some of those first and second place votes. Nah, 83-10. Wemby got 5 first place nods, which is pretty interesting. My favourite one is whoever was the dingus who put SGA 4th. Do you reckon like that's that dude who's just like, I'm going to vote for, he's like, you know, from Argentina or Spain or something. He's just like, I forgot to watch the basketball. But yeah, 4th is pretty funny. But how you going? Jokic gets 48 second teamers, 38 for Wemby. So Jokic actually sort of got pushed down a little bit with 37 third place votes as well. But yeah, it goes SGA, Jokic and Wemby. Cade actually copped a couple of second place votes, but Luka finished 4th overall because he got the lion's share of the 4th place votes. I think he got 60 of them. So basically, clear cut top 3. Lot of love for Luka in the 4th spot. Cade getting a lot of 5th place votes and also a couple of first place votes, which is pretty funny. And look, I yelled about this all through the season. The big problem with Cade coming in 4th, I think you got to ping him for all those missed games at the end of the season. And up until then, however, I 100% would have gone into back going, he is more important than the other dude. He's more valuable to his team than even those other guys. And we saw that today, didn't we, Jim? Yes, we did. See, it's all writ large. So your top 5, SGA, Jokic, Wemby, Luka, Cade, Cunningham. That's a smart pig. Jaylen Brown comes in 6th. That's the sound you just heard was every Boston fan. Dude, this is unfair. Kawhi Leonard comes in out of nowhere, 7th. Adam Silver should have thrown his buddy in front of that last 5th place vote, and so did Donnie Mitchell. He got one 5th place vote too. So there you go, your MVP. We'll talk about this a little bit more in nahs in a second, but I mean, sure. He's just not that exciting, and that's fine. He's Canadian. But the big question everybody wants answered is who is going to win the Social Justice Champion of the Year award? We've got our 5 finalists, and that'll be the last one we get to find out, really. It's Bam, Harrison Barnes, Jaylen Brown, Tobias Harris, and Larry Nance Jr. Yep. These are the important questions we need to know the answers to. The only other real little bit of news, since we did Saturday's show, I hope you listened to Saturday's show because it was me doing a bloody show on Saturday instead of hanging out with the squids. Old mate. Yeah, not stoked on that one. But anyway, Jalen Williams is good to go for game 1, which is good. Having good players play in big games is good, in my opinion. I am absolutely fascinated to see how much it throws OKC off their game. It's going to be very interesting. J-Dub is an absolute plug-and-play additive player, right? So it shouldn't really discombobulate anybody. AJ Mitchell moves to the bench. He just becomes another awesome bench weapon for OKC. They'll be fine. Or will they? That's why this is awesome, right? So that's kind of cool. The other one is OG's all good to go for game 1 for the Knickerbockers of New York City as well. Obviously, he even came out. He's like, yeah, look, the hammy wasn't as bad as ones I've had in the past, so I'm all good. The other news is I'm going to Spurs OKC game 3. What do you mean, Jim? Well, that's exactly what I just said. I'm going to be there in San Antone for game 3 of OKC San Antonio. Got a ticket. My mate, Chris Anstey, very helpfully sent through a screenshot this morning of the tickets for the Knicks game. And I'm like, oh, well, I guess I'm not going to go to a Knicks game while I'm over there. Bloody hell. So, yeah, I guess like there's a bit of a programming note. I leave first thing Wednesday morning to fly to the States. I'll be in LA for a couple of days, go to San Antonio, then go to New York. I'll be in New York for like 4 or 5 days or whatever it is. And while I'm there, a couple of Knicks games are happening, but they are the away games, which is actually fine. I love watching basketball in New York when the Knicks are playing. Would have been even more chaotic while they were in town, but you get that on the big jobs. So it's another reason that Detroit annoyed me today. By not being able to close out the Cavs at home, they would have hosted the first couple of games, and then the Knicks would have been playing while I was in town. But well, what I am going to try to do then as well, if we get Cleveland New York game 6, I'm going to be trying to get to Cleveland, I think, on May 29. So, yeah, lots in store for you, mate Jim. What are we going to do with the show, though, Jim? Well, what we're going to do is I have a couple of little mics. I don't know if I'll do much in the way of YouTube filming. It might just be like my camera. I might take my actual bigger camera, though, but I'm trying to just travel light. It's just me, right? I'm not even taking the wife and squids. This is a gym trip. I've got one in the bag because old mate got to go to the States last year and I was home with the squids for a bit. She was doing it for work. I'm just doing it to fuck around, go see basketball and drink lots of beers. But anyway, I'm a lucky man. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out like the best way to do it. So I think what I'll try to do is while I'm over there with the mics I've got, I'll probably just plug it straight into the laptop, top and tail it with a bit of music, your intro from Oslo and then outro. And in the meantime, just talk, right? So none of the fancy doohickeys or anything. And basically just sort of, raw dog it a little bit. Probably not even do like awards, but sort of just give some vibes on like what's going on. So, and we'll try to do that maybe every couple of days. I'm not going to do it every day while I'm over there because I am technically on holiday. So, yeah, should be right. So just trying not to do too much while I'm over there. That always works for me. Anyway, so that's going to be fun. Can't wait. It's going to be real good. So I've never seen Wemby in person. This is the first time I've gone back to America since we moved home. So since the oldest squid was born. So it's like over 7.5 years ago, which is pretty crazy. Yeah, we've now been back longer than we lived in New York, which is weird. But I am very excited to go back. So that'll be good. If you're over there, shout out and let's get some hangs in. Right. It's enough about me. Let's do a game wrap. Game wrap. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that sound you heard was Detroit spewing all over themselves. What an out-and-out absolute fucking shit show from the Detroit basketballing Pistons. Like, it shouldn't even be out. They shouldn't be allowed to call them the Detroit basketballing Pistons anymore. It should be the Detroit shit show Pistons. It should be the Detroit sump pump Pistons. You know? When you talk about the Detroit septic tank Pistons is where I'm going with this one. Because this was a fucking horror show from the get-go. And like my entire vibe on this game, it never changed. I'm like, oh, their defense is a bit shit. And that didn't stop the entire 4 quarters. The Pistons obviously were an exceptionally good defensive team whole season long. Whole season, Jim. Yep. Throughout the playoffs. You know, not too bad defensively as well. But fucking wow, that was bad, right? So if you go and you think about like the what we saw in the regular season from the Detroit basketballing Pistons, and what I banged on about all fucking series long. The one thing you can rely on is the Detroit Pistons defense. Shows you how much I fucking know, apparently. It also shows you how good and how forceful and just how singularly focused Cleveland were. Cleveland! Because they came, like, yeah, it still looked a little bit sketchy out of the gate, but then they sort of started turning the screws and Detroit had zero fucking answers. And Cleveland, despite James Harden sort of being a bit fucking shit, were so absolutely in the moment. Like, I don't know, we see these games every so often where there's like one team that's just far more fucking locked in than the other one. I don't know what else it needs to take you to get locked in for a Game 7 of the NBA playoffs. But, yeah, we didn't have it today. The point being that defensively, this is like the best team in the East all season long, the Detroit Pistons. Giving up 100 before the fourth quarter had started, which is a key thing. It was 99 points at the third quarter break. They gave away a tech in the three-quarter time. All-Star Thompson arguing with the ref. So it's 100 at the start of the fourth quarter. Yeah, not great defense, is it, then, if you're giving up 100 in 3 quarters? But how did that all happen, Jim? Well, the defense was just even in that first quarter, once they sort of started getting rolling and they were really sort of buoyed by the Sam Merrill just going, today I will hit my shots. And they're like, fuck, that's good. Look at that. Sam Merrill's going off his head. He also took a charge that should have been 2 charges. Fucking Jesus, got trucked. But he hit a couple of threes early and you're like, oh, this is all right. And Mobley and Jared Allen both were like, oh, right. Hey, remember how we're really fucking big and very athletic? Let's do that. Good. On the court. They fucking ran rings around him. Like, Mobley was everywhere, and, like, it was a kind of a bit of a weird one. Bickerstaff was like, all right, fuck it. B-ball Paul, you have been filling in for Jalen Duran here and there. I need Beef Stew to give me something. Beef Stew's like, I am going to give you nothing. And he was shit. B-ball Paul starts the second quarter. Sasa actually hit a couple of threes, but, I mean, one of them was a bit fucking late, but Mitchell banked in that 3 at the end of the first quarter, and you're like, oh, that's a kick in the dick, because Detroit hadn't let it get off the chain too badly. But then suddenly it's like, yeah, from a 6-point deficit at, the first quarter break to a 9-point, you're like, that is a fucking nice springboard for Cleveland. And that's what it proved to be, because in the second quarter, Detroit missed 8 straight shots at one point. Reed goes in at one point as well. And you're like, this will be fun. And then he gives up an offensive rebound, put back, and one to Mobley. And you're like, maybe that's why Bickerstaff went with Beef Stew. But they missed the 8 straight shots. Merrill hits another 3. He hits a 4th 3. And he's got 15 so far already. The Detroit defense was just a shit show. And with like 3 minutes left in the second quarter, it was an absolute out-and-out belting. And from there, they got straight kills.
So he got straight killed.
That was kind of it. The defense was horrible. There were so many weird little back cuts. Their defense against drives was just, the help was slow, or the help would help too much. And then, boom, the drive would find an open shooter. And you're like, this is very easy for Cleveland. What the fuck are Detroit doing? And again, this is sort of, you're trying to pass what's going on, right? And Duncan Robinson coming back to the, back in the team, coming off the bench. So they're playing, essentially a lineup that they're like, this will be fine because we've got Tobias, we've got Dennis Jenkins. The Dennis Jenkins thing defensively, he tries. God bless his cotton socks, he tries. But yeah, they were getting beat left, right, and center. Also, was sort of trying to do a little bit too much, it felt at times as well. Duran is just a bit of a shit show. Cade couldn't get anything going offensively, and that I feel like always tends to bother his defense. And you sort of turn around, you're like, this is fucked. So they're already down 20 in the second quarter. They sort of fight back. They get a couple of, threes. Duncan hits a 3 in that second quarter. But they just give it straight back. The bad defense just rears its ugly head again. Boom. It's a 20-point game still. At one point, there's 17 assists for Cleveland versus 14 made buckets for Detroit. And you're like, that's not good. Orsar hits a 3 at the end of the second quarter, and you're like, well, that just is lipstick on a pig at this point because it's only 17. It was a 20-point game. So 64-47. And basically, you turn around, and it's an absolute, behind the woodshed belting in that third quarter. Donnie Mitchell just goes off his head. I think he had 15 in that third quarter. It was amazing. And you turn around, it's 93-69 with 2 minutes to go. Detroit just looked like an absolute shell of themselves. Bickerstaff's in these, in the timeouts, just go, hey, we're not too bad. It's going to be fine. We just need to focus. And then they go out and shit down their pants legs again. There's another Mitchell 3. It's 96-69, 11-0 run. It basically shuts them down. You're like, yeah, I think that might be it. And it was. It was just, yeah. They gave up 31, 33, 35 in the first 3 quarters, this Pistons D. And it was a laugher, basically, through to the end of the fucking game. The fourth quarter was basically all garbage time. The weird one was Kenny Atkinson not wanting to take his dudes out. Stan Van Gundy, for a bloke who's got his own show who just does nothing but talk to himself, that's me. Fucking hell, Stan Van Gundy's never met a moment of airtime that he does not want to fill. I like Stan Van Gundy's insights. Just fucking pump the brakes a little bit every so often. I don't need to hear you talk the entire time. But anyway, there was also a great stat that they brought up. At one point, it was 74-36 of the Cleveland starters versus the Detroit starters. And the Detroit bench had actually given them a little bit of something with Duncan Robinson, with my beloved Sweet Baby Carrots, Sasser, obviously. But, it was everybody else. 35% the Pistons shoot. 35! Absolutely los horrible. And they do end up, Cleveland, that's right,
Cleveland!
having more assists than Detroit had made field goals. 31-30. That is just, it's interesting stuff.
Interesting stuff.
3 of 18 from downtown for the starters, though. That's just going to kill you. Absolutely kill you. Pistons couldn't hit a shot. Starters couldn't do anything. They had 44 points, I think, in the paint as well, which is one of their, I think it might have been their fewest all season. And you're like, yeah, that's just, that's no good. 34 points. I wrote that down wrong. Fewest all season, and they gave up 58. That is just bloody hell. So, yeah. 3 of 18 from 3 from your starters, though. That'll sink you if you're shooting threes. Cade Cunningham, look, he tried. He just was ice cold. He was just... the in-laws went to Antarctica, and I reckon what they experienced in that time, in that trip, was not as cold as the Detroit Pistons today. 13 points on 5 of 16. He went 0 of 7 from deep. 5 assists, 3 turnovers. Duran had 7 on 7 shots, 9 boards, 3 turnovers. That is a man who has cost himself a bit of cash, I reckon, this offseason. Because you're like, oh, wow, defensive stalwart. He's going to be the centerpiece. Oh, no. He got manhandled by Wendell and then Jared Allen and Mobley. Oh, jeez. Maybe we do need to go get Giannis. Anyway, Orsar had 5 points on 2 of 7 shooting. He hit that 3, and you're like, that's probably bad because now his confidence is up. He airballed one so badly, you're like, oh, that's me at the Squids bloody primary school shooting around. Dan Ayres Jenkins gave him a little bit of something. He had 17, but he shot 4 of 12. Again, I'm no math magician, but I'm pretty sure that's like 30%. God damn. Or was that 33%? There you go, Jim. It's 33%. 2 of 7 on threes as well. He had 5 assists and 1 turnover. So that was all right. But obviously the big problem is Tobias Harris. They never knew. Look, this is it. You don't win friends with salad. You don't make friends with salad, and you don't win playoff games with Tobias Harris. It's a tale as old as time. Every team that's got Tobias Harris is like, this is good, and then it's not. Because shit gets a bit fucking sideways, and you go, ha-ha, our second best players, it's Tobias Harris. And he's like, hi. Like, all right, Tobias, today we're going to need you to make some field goals. He's like, you got a bus, 0 field goals. And I was like, no. Clearly I said some field goals, Tobias. And he's like, I heard you the first time, boss. 0 field goals. You're like, oh, this fucking guy. 0 of 6 for Tobias. 0 of 2 from 3. He had 5 points because they were all free throws and 5 rebounds. And wow, did he look old and shit. Incredible drop-off in the back half of this series. Like, stunningly shithouse. Because he started off great guns. And that was all well and good. And then it was embarrassing, disgraceful, and ticked off.
This is disgusting. It's disgraceful. It's embarrassing. And I'm ticked off.
20 and 8, 21 and 7, 21 and 5, 16, 8 and 5, 13, 6 and 3, 6, 5 and 3, 5, 5 and 2. Should we just give it away now? Because, I mean...
Spud of the night.
The bloke who had 39 and 2 in Game 7 against Orlando in a home win. You know? Just crazy. The drop-off. So... his shooting in this series, 6 of 14, 9 of 16, 7 of 14, 6 of 17, 6 of 19, 2 of 7, 0 of 6. It's just, oh no, it's just so fucking bad. I mean, I'm like secondhand embarrassed. Anyway, elsewhere in that Pistons team, you had Duncan have 13 points, hit 3 of 5 from downtown. He had 3 turnovers. Well, Beef didn't do much in his 6 minutes. My sweet baby Carrots, 11, 2 and 2, 2 of 4 from deep. Looked like he was going a little bit early, and then just they didn't really use him that much. It was fucking weird. Sasa had 9 as well. I think that all. Yeah, he shot 3 of 12, Sasa, but 3 of 9 from deep. My sweet baby Carrots played the 17 minutes. Was the 11, 2 and 2, 1 turnover, 1 steal, but yeah, it was not great for Cleveland. That's right, for Cleveland. Their first conference finals without LeBron. Well, since 2018, so since LeBron James left, which is kind of neat. Their first conference finals since 1992 without LeBron, which is pretty crazy. Donnie Mitchell. What a game. 26. Geez, Jim, that's not that great. It was so good. That's like maybe the best 26-point game you'll see. Holy crap. He shot 10 of 22, but 3 of those came on like 1 possession that he missed. But anyway, 2 of 6 from deep. 7 rebounds, 8 assists, and no turnovers. unbelievable. He scored or assisted on 43 of their points. Massive game. Flip side, James Harden wasn't horrible, and then you go, I didn't see him hit too many shots. It's because he didn't. Big game James came up big game small again, didn't he? 9 points on 2 of 10 shooting, 0 of 6 from downtown. He had 6 assists though, so it wasn't too bad. And he sort of ran the show pretty well without Donny out there. Didn't really fucking kill him. Only the one turnover as well. It just couldn't hit a shot. And you're like, yeah, game 7, James Harden. I'm going to talk about that again later. And then the real story for me was Mobley and Jarrett go the throw Allen. Go the throw Jarrett Allen somewhere I swear. What about me? He's just woken up in a cold sweat once again going, poor Shannon Knoll. Every time Jarrett Allen plays, he's just going to go, just PTSD or something. Anyway, 23-7, game 7, throw goes off again. But Mobley with his 21, 12, and 6, 7 of 10 shooting, 2 steals, 2 blocks. He was so fucking engaged and everywhere in this game. They both were. The bigs, it was so massive for them. Struce started. He had 9 points. Started a little bit of a brouhaha late, which is pretty funny. He had 3 steals. Didn't really do too much offensive damage, but he's such a great release valve. Schroeder, 18 minutes, again, didn't kill them. He only had the 2, 3, and 3, but it was very handy. But the biggest thing for them was that they got their role player bump from Sam Merrill. And this is something that obviously the Pistons couldn't get from fucking anybody. Whereas Sam Merrill, off the bench, hits a couple of threes early, and Cleveland was suddenly just all right, we're feeling comfortable. We've already got some found money, and Merrill absolutely go and spare. He ends up shooting, 5 of 8 from downtown, 23 points. He hit 2 more threes than the entirety of the Detroit starting lineup. Jesus. So, yeah, absolutely run them out of their own building. I love the look of the court. Very clean. Love that. But wow. Cleveland. Go through to take on the New York Knickerbockers of New York City starting on our Wednesday, which would be pretty fun. So, yeah. Massive game. Massive game. Detroit. I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed. But I'm also angry. All right. NBA Straya Performer of the Night.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
Don Mitchell. 26, 7 and 8 with 0 turnovers. Absolutely controlled this game. Didn't really have to do too much of the scoring early. Got the other dudes going. The amount of drop-off passes and just feeding the beast of Allen and Mobley was just amazing. God, he was good. As I said, scored or assist on 43 points. And then in that third quarter, he's like, all right, time to turn the screws and just put these fuckers to bed. Boom, 15 points on your head. As I said, that 11-0 run that had basically just finished the game, right? And just the game was over after he did that. That was amazing. He was so good. So, yeah, great game from him. Probably one of the best you'll see. He's made his first conference finals as well, which is very neat. So good on him. Awesome game. Awesome series for him as well. And it's kind of been a strange series where there's empty trips, whatever, a couple of weird, janky games, and then the second half explosion. And then this was such a controlled display of superstar, the latent superstar talent of I'm just going to control this game. Cade Cunningham has just fallen off a fucking cliff. Donovan Mitchell's right. I've been here before. I know what to do. Taking control. And off they went. Honorable mention, obviously got to go to Mobley and Sam Merrill, though. Mobley was absolutely massive in that first half. Allen's filling in gaps. Jarrett Allen's a great junk bucket, dude. Mobley creating some extra little bits and bobs here and there for himself. Beautiful to see. And Merrill hitting all those threes was just bloody huge. We've already done Spud of the Night. How about a bit of Old Mate No Mates?
Old mate, no mates.
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 Who's got no mates today? It'd be Cade Cunningham. So on one side, you've got James Harden having an absolute horror show shooting. So 2 of 10. As I said, 0 of 6 from 3. Cade Cunningham. That's right. He's a smart pig. 0 of 7 from deep. and the 5 of 16 from the floor. And the difference is Cade Cunningham's got no mates. James Harden had mates like Donnie Mitchell, Evan Mobley. So they get to paper over his shit shooting night and they get the win and they go through to conference finals. Cade Cunningham, because he's got no fucking mates, is left going, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that, you dicks? Can no one hit a shot? They're like, well, you didn't do that.
What was that? What the hell was that?
You didn't hit any shots either. And he's like, yeah, but look, I'm fucking doing everything, dude. And this is it. If only there had have been people screaming into the other about the fucking Pistons going, yes, vibes are great. It's very nice to have Tobias Harris being a great dude for your locker room. You know what great vibes in locker rooms don't do? Score fucking 20 points in a game 7. I contend that just about fucking anybody that you got at the trade deadline to be a secondary scorer would have scored more than 0 field goals in a game 7 for you today, Detroit. So yes, Tobias Harris, good dude. Not a game 7 crunch time scorer for you when it comes to the second round of the playoffs. Just ask Philly. Jesus. So yeah. Bit of old mate, no mates there. Also, honourable mention, old mate, no mates, Shams getting hung out to dry by Blake Griffin. I enjoyed that. So Prime Video were going to announce the MVP. Also, why are we letting this happen? Like, it's fucking Prime Video? They're going to be doing the MVP announcement? The most high profile of all Europe. What the fuck are we doing, NBA? Adam Silver, get your shit together. Jesus. Anyway, MVP gets spoiled by Shams. And Taylor Rooks is like, just to be clear, the official MVP announcement is happening here. Dirk and Steve, you both won MVPs, but I don't remember Shams spoiling it. They're like, no, he was a baby. Blake, though, is like, what are we doing here, man? Like, it's Sunday. Shams, go to brunch, you nerd. That's pretty fucking funny. I'll pay that. Good job, Blake. Pantsing of the night, though. Cleveland going into Detroit with an absolute fuck ton of Cleveland fans and kicking the ever-living shit out of them in a game 7. Yeah, that's a pantsing. That's an all-time. That's you. That's the sort of like heated franchise city rivalry shit that just like burns a hole in you. Like if you're Detroit, you're like, you got fucking punked by Cleveland and Cleveland fans. So I guess the flip side, we usually do Dickhead of the Weekend.
Dickhead of the Week.
Sometimes we flip that to Legend of the Weekend. And I know Dan Gilbert, that dude fucking sucks. But he did the right thing, and the thing that billionaire owners should fucking do, pay for their own stadiums. Yeah, fucking shut up, idiot. Or duh. What he did, he bussed 25 loads of Cleveland fans to Detroit. And there were actual sections in the lower bowl of the Detroit basketballing Pistons Little Caesars Arena. There were Cleveland fans. It was so fucking loud for the Cleveland like buckets and like it was hilarious. That is an all-time pantsing. Like walk into your trap, take over your trap kind of shit, right? Detroit, I'm wearing the hat. I just grabbed it and I'm like, fuck, they lost. Oh well, I'm still doing the show. They just fucking hung you out to dry. That is just an all-time dacked you, bent you over, and just went whack and whooped your ass. Finally, better than Lonzo Ball, Bronny James and Ben Simmons.
Lonzo was the best player in high school. He was the best player in college. You think he'll get to the pros and be like, I made it to the pros, now I can be average. We're coming for everybody.
Coming for everybody. Marcus Sasser. I'm still a Sasser sexual. I guess. 3 of 12 from the floor. Not a great shooting night, but 3 of 9 from deep. And gave them just like, oh shit, that's one of the guys off the bench who can score. Because none of these fucking idiots are doing anything. And you're like, hey, JB, maybe you should play him a little bit more. He and Sweet Baby. But 9 points for Sasser today, 2 rebounds, 1 assist and a steal. Look, everybody on that team was a minus, but minus 16, you get that on the big jobs. I thought he gave them just a little bit of pop, and it would have been interesting to sort of see him a little bit earlier in the game. Like, I don't know, just play Karras more. We know that Karras can just like go on a little bit of a streak here or there. Maybe that gives you a little bit of a burn. Maybe Sasa gets going as well. Suddenly rip off like a 14-0 run and you're back in the game. But no. Honorable mention, obviously, Dennis Jenkins. Guy going. And like, what a story. Undrafted, two-way guy, starting in a Game 7. That is incredible. And he wasn't shit. 17, 3 and 5 with 1 turnover. The 4 of 12 shooting wasn't awesome. 2 of 7 from deep. But god damn, he is just found money. But I love me some Dennis Jenkins. All right, how about some Yenas right after this?
This is Cam Glidden.
This is Anthony Drimmick.
This is Mitch McCarron.
This is Jason Kadee.
This is Darryl McDonald.
Hey guys, this is Hugh Greenwood.
Yo, what's going on? This is Illy.
This is Mark Worthington, or commonly known as Wortho, and you're listening to NBA Straya.
You listen to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA
And you're listening to
Straya.
NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
All right, let's do some Yenas brought to you by you. That's right. You can join the Dead Set Legends Club, get exclusive NBA Australia content. All you have to do is go buy me a coffee. Like, don't walk out of your house and go, oh, geez, I better go get Jimmy a coffee. No, just you go to buymeacoffee.com/NBA Australia. That's easier. You don't have to bring her around to the house. Buymeacoffee.com/NBA Australia. We are talking out the what the Dead Set Legends Club will be for this month, and we're doing the best Aussie playoff games for each of the players that we sort of wanted to showcase, which is very fun. So we'll just go through a bunch of the cool box scores and like what they did in that game. Got some really great other ones as well, which is related to me going over to the States. My boy Matty O coming up with the, hey Jim, rank your top 5 like sports or top 10 sports cities to go to in the US. And I'm like, oh, that's a fucking great idea. So I reckon we might do that for next month. But yeah, so hopefully I'm going to try to get that up before I leave actually. So it's in the can, Aussie playoff games. But yeah, I feel like it's important because it's the middle of the playoffs. Let's talk playoffs, Jim. Yeah. So go, if you want to listen to that, you got to go to buymeacoffee.com/NBA Australia and become part of the Dead Set Legends Club. Right. Yeah, nah, SGA MVP. Yeah, nah. Yeah, look, it's fine. Like, he was so fucking good. I can't complain about it, right? And yeah, like the weight of the statistics, and you know me, I hate nerds. But you got to look at like Jokic's stats this year and just go, are you fucking serious, man? Like, that is just absurd gear, right? But so you have Jokic averaging a 27-7. Well, 27.7 point game, 27.7 points per game. There you go, got there. 12.9 rebounds, 10.7 assists. He becomes the first bloke to ever lead the league in rebounding and assists, which is just fucking crazy. The Nuggets weren't that great, but they were still a 3 seed. I thought everything about this year, the SGA thing, I think what we did see when he didn't play was like, he's awesome. But do they really need him that much? It's like, yeah, they do if they want to win the title, but I don't know. Still, SGA averaged at 31.1 points a game line, 4.3 rebounds, 6.6 assists, shot 55.3% from the floor, which is just incredible. And yeah, it's actually just like Jokic was 56.9 and he's a 7-foot fucking Serbian. So yeah, look, I have no arguments with SGA going back to back. I think that's very cool. He had one of the great guard seasons of all time. So, yeah, makes sense. It's going to be weird when we look back and go, oh, yeah, SGA won back-to-back MVPs. It's pretty good. And I guess it's better than Jokic just fucking stacking them all up with his one title. So, can't really complain. Anyway, Jim. With Detroit absolutely flaming out. Jim, are you just going to ask yeah, nah about whether or not they should have got Michael Porter Jr.? Yeah, nah, yeah. Or something. It just needed to be anything. It couldn't have been Tobias Harris. Like the ball handling off guard that they sort of needed that was meant to be Jaden Ivey. They turned him into Kevin Huerter. That was never going to fucking work. Kevin Huerter injured as well anyway, so he was like no good in this series. Didn't play. And you're kind of like, yeah, that's your big move. As I said, vibes are all well and good, but you are in a conference where you could absolutely make the finals. Vibes are great. I'm a big vibes guy. But you know what? I think getting somebody else in to help out score while you're playing basketball would be handy. And yeah, I know that Michael Porter Jr. is not a vibes guy, so probably not him. But just swinging for something else. Somebody. Anybody. Probably would have helped out. And like whether that be... like obviously there was a lot of the Lowry chatter. I don't know if Lowry was ever going to do it. But even like somebody like him, right? Putting a big dude like Lowry next to Jalen Duren in place of Tobias Harris, if you had been able to pry him away from Utah, that's the sort of shit we go, ooh, now we're sort of cooking. Because if you can sort of combine a bit of that extra size and scoring, bit more spacing as well, and I've got to assume Lowry's not a bad vibes dude like Michael Porter Jr. Away we go. And even MPJ, like he's just a bucket. He can fucking shoot the piss out of it. Defensively, yeah, but he's big enough. And yeah, anyway. So yeah, hindsight is always 20/20, isn't it? Yes. But I still think they're going to go into this offseason with the idea of, all right, how the fuck do we keep loading up? We need to get better guard help. We need just one extra dude who can fucking dribble and also help us score when we go through these periods with Cat. Like someone like Kobe White when he got to Charlotte, right? You saw how that just fucking supercharged their offense because he was like a little bit, even if they got Colin Sexton, who he got traded for, I don't know if that'd help your vibes, but yeah, the Kobe White sort of addition, right? Like just the fucking spark plug. Oh shit, bang. Just don't get Jordan Poole or anybody. What they need is Trey Murphy, right? So I think that's where they should go big game hunting this offseason. Joe Dumas is like, oh, I love Detroit. That's where I played. Yeah, have Trey Murphy. Yeah. I'm sure he can dupe the dumbest man in the NBA. Anyway, Cavs, are they any chance against the Knicks? Yeah, nah, yeah. I mean, anytime you've got like that size with Jared Allen and Mobley, where Karl Anthony Towns, you saw how he was able to impact that series against the Sixers, right? Where Embiid just couldn't move. Good. Now Cat's going to have to work. It's a really interesting setup. We don't really learn a giant amount behind like the, the actual sort of games they played this year because I think for the most part, like they were sort of all before at least even the Harden trade, right? So I think the Knicks went 2-1 against them. And yeah, the last one was 109-94 in February. So the Harden trade would have happened by then. But I don't know if he played in that one. Oh, no, he did. There you go. And Cleveland won that. So, but yeah, it's hard to sort of tell. I don't know. I think these are two pretty interesting, like both the East and Western Conference Finals are awesome matchups. As I said, I think I said last week, Detroit might be a tougher out for the Knicks, but Cleveland are probably more dangerous, if that makes sense, because we saw them get on a roll this series, win 3 straight, look awesome. Donnie Mitchell can go off. But the thing is, the Knicks have got those perimeter defenders that they can just keep throwing at Harden, at Donnie Mitchell. And it's like, all right, then it's up to you, Mobley. Hit some shots, Maxey Strus. So I think the Cavs have got a puncher's chance. I think they can sort of hang with the Knicks, but I don't think they'll beat them, But I'll tell you what. Is this situation the best we've got for James Harden? Yeah, nah. Unpopular opinion of the day, I think so. Because this is it. I love it. I think it's awesome.
Now look at me, please. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
Geez, Jim, saying that James Harden being in the conference finals is a bit how you going. That's a bit unlike you. No, it's not. Yeah, nah, it's not. Because I am always for putting people in situations where we get to see how they react, right? The stress test idealization of basketball is amazing. Watching people in a really tough environment be their true selves on the biggest stage fucking rocks. And if James Harden, as he has done in the past, shits his pants in epic fashion, that's amazing. If he overcomes his own foibles and leads like the Cleveland Cavaliers to the finals over the Knicks, that's also incredible. I fucking love this setup because it's basically either way I win. It's unreal. But this is it. Like, it is the best situation for Harden because you think about the years that he played with Chris Paul. It was the same sort of shit, right? Like when Harden would fuck up, Chris Paul would sort of like carry them. It's the Paul injuries that really fucking sank them. But if you remember the 3-point barrage that they just like smoked the Clippers, Harden's on the pine, but it's like the other guys being able to just fucking concentrate without Harden and hit some shots, awesome stuff. But having someone like Donnie Mitchell go, okay, James isn't going to hit shots today. I will. She'll be right. Is massive for James Harden. I think it's great. But yeah, setting people up to either like triumph or fail dismally is great. It's just great drama. And that's why I love sport. Speaking of which, a bit of Outback Takehouse. Wait, wrong button. It's Monday at Outback, and you know what that means. Well, on the way to bloody school in kindy this morning, went by the creek. And you know what we got? A very endangered species. So you've got a very nice special today. That's right. It's platypus skewers. Only at Outback. Managed to throw a couple of rocks at one and just get it out. Chuck it on a skewer. Tastes a bit rubbery, but she'll be right. Oh, can you imagine that? Fucking hell. Anyway, only at Outback. Today's Flame Grilled Take. It is, I reckon both conference finals could go 7. What do you reckon? Again, it's a bit of wishful thinking because if we get a 6-game series in Knicks Cavs, I get to go to Cleveland and another game. But by the same token, like, I feel like both matchups are awesome. As I said earlier, I think J-Dub might, throw a bit of a spanner in the wrench for OKC. They'll probably figure it out. But then Cleveland, New York, I mean, New York have played so well the first 2 rounds, but do you trust that to continue without being completely nicked up in some way, shape, or form? Not at all. The Knicks are going to Knicks at some point. Who knows what's going to happen? But yeah, I love nothing more than Knicks fans having their expectations built up and up and up and then dashed quite expertly. So I'm feeling pretty good. But conference finals both going to 7. Come on. This is where the Outback Takehouse comes into play. Adam Silver is like, I really need to engage these fans, and we've got the Knicks in the playoffs. We've got 2 small market teams in the West. We have to have the Knicks go 7. So that's it. I think we get both conference finals going 7 games. Nice. Australian Player Watch, Tyrese Proctor, our lone remaining Aussie. Didn't even see the floor today, which is a bit of a kick in the dick. After same thing happened with Jingles the other day, right? 2 blowouts. Jingles doesn't see the floor at the end of that one, which might be the end of his NBA career. Tyrese Proctor just didn't get out there today as well, even in the end of that blowout. So a bit of a tough one. But you get that on the big jobs. How about an Andrew Gaze Gray Mamba Award for Outstanding Achievement in the Field of Excellence, though?
It's the first annual
Andrew Gaze Gray Mamba
Award.
Outstanding Achievement in
The Field of
SGA, 14th ever back-to-back MVP winner. He obviously broke Wilt's 20-point game streak record. Incredibly, though, he also posted the highest field goal percentage ever by a guard, averaging 30-plus points per game in a season. 55.3% while averaging 31.4 points a game. The highest ever for a guard. That's fucking incredible. The best mark before this was Michael Jordan. Michael Jeffrey Jordan in 1990-91. Pretty good year, that one. 53.9% from the floor. He went 55.3. Bloody hell. So yeah, only guard in NBA history to average 30-plus points per game on 55-plus percentage shooting. Absolutely incredible. Led the league in total clutch points. And yeah, only other guard alongside Michael Jeffrey Jordan to average 30-plus points a game on 50-plus field goal percentage in 4 straight years. SGA's pretty bloody good. I just wish he was interesting. That's all. All right, Paddy Mills Game Day, Baller Game Day Twitter check-in. I think this one's just a good Jock Landale one. He's like hanging out, causing a bit of havoc in Melbourne. Sundays in NBA house, yeah, hanging out. Birthday party, for the squid. That's bloody good. Big dinner. There's bubbles. Yeah, good stuff. On you, Jock. Come on the show, Jock. Bloody hell. Right. Game preview. Thanks, Inadvertent Bane. Not a problem, Jim. How's it all going? Yeah, not bad. Are you packed? Nah. This might come as a surprise, but I'm not an early packer. Right. You can find all of our picks over at Dabble. You can find the link in our show description, social bios, all that sort of stuff. Western Conference Finals. Pick and prediction for this finals. The Western Conference Finals, obviously. San Antonio, OKC. It's a 64-win team versus a 62-win team, which is pretty crazy. How crazy is that, Jim? Well, it's the first time we've got 60-plus, two 62-plus win teams in the playoffs since the Bulls and Jazz in 1998. Bloody hell. Which is pretty good. Because if you think back to, 15, I want to say, where we're like, oh, here we go. We're going to get like some pretty good teams here. You got the Warriors winning 67. Was it 2016? 2016. We had a really good Spurs team as well. You had the 73-win Warriors and you had the 67-win Spurs. They don't make it through to the actual conference finals, though, to take on the Warriors because of a rampant OKC team, right? So this is like the year before KD pisses off from OKC to go and join the 73-win Warriors, but they knocked them out in the 67-win Spurs in the second round. So anyway, but this is going to be cool. San Antonio, OKC, it's very exciting. You think about this is the two of the top three defensive teams in the entire NBA. OKC were first, San Antonio third. You think about the offense, and you're like, wow, that's pretty good. Spurs were the third best offense all season, and OKC with seventh. So I think what we've also learned is that the Spurs went 4-1 against OKC this year. Oh, geez, Jim, why'd they play 5 times? Remember the NBA Cup? That was pretty fun. You've got Wemby up against Chet, who he fucking hates, which I love. He's like, I fucking hate Chet. You've got defensive guards that you can throw at SGA. J-Dub is really important for this matchup as well, as long as he's healthy and he's actually on his game, which he doesn't really feel like he's been like at all this year. But if he is, it gets a little bit tougher for San Antonio to defend them. But I really, really think this is going to be a fucking dogfight. And to be honest, the Outback Takehouse of this going 7, I'm taking OKC to win this in 7. I think the Spurs, there's probably just going to be a point where they go a little bit cold in a couple of games. And I think their offense is like the one thing where you sort of go, oh, what's your reliable go-to that isn't Wemby dropping 16 points in like 2 seconds at the start of a game? Is it De'Aaron Fox? Can OKC counter that with a bit of defensive stuff? And I kind of think OKC probably just have this tiny edge with a little bit of the old having been there, done that. But mostly just I kind of trust SGA's offense down the stretch of a game versus probably anybody on San Antonio just yet. So I think that's where we go. So I'm going to take OKC 4-3. But it also, like, I'm so excited to be there for game 3. I can't fucking wait to be in San Antonio. Get those big ass women down there, Chuck. But mostly to, like, just see Wemby in person. And I can't wait to see how these two teams match up when shit's actually really mattering. The Spurs obviously fucking hate them. OKC are 6.5-point favorites for game 1, which also feels a little bit how you going because OKC waxed the Lakers so fucking brutally. I'm going to take San Antonio plus 6.5 in game 1. I don't know if they win it, but I think a little bit of the rest versus rust vibe. San Antonio, having gotten through the Wolves gauntlet, getting like a couple of days off just to refreshen and like get back into it, and away we go. I feel like that's a little bit beneficial than the OKC rust versus rest. Getting J-Dub back, so trying to figure out how he fits and what he's going to do. So I think for game one, I'm going to take the San Antonio Banderas Spurs plus 6.5. I can't wait, though. I can't fucking wait to be at this game in Game 3. So I'll be there on Friday, which is kind of crazy to think about. Get me some Tex-Mex. Yeah. So that's Western Conference Finals. The official pick is OKC 4-3. San Antonio plus 6.5 in Game 1. We'll do a bit more of a sort of setup of Cleveland Knicks in the back half of tomorrow's show when we wrap up San Antonio OKC Game 1. Yeah? Good. So there you go. Awesome. Fun times. But that's it for today. As mentioned, so we will have we'll do a show tomorrow. So you'll have like a bit of a preview for each of the conference finals. And then, yeah, I'm on the plane on Wednesday. So no show Wednesday. Might do a bit of a quick wrap-up show on Thursday once I've caught up from the States. So, yeah. See how we go for timing. But yeah, should be good. So as I said, scheduling notes, I'll just sort of get shows up when I can. I'm not going to stress about it. We'll just sort of, as they come. I might do a little bit more social stuff and just like chuck my phone up and, have a couple of little vids from places. I'll definitely do some shit while I'm in San Antonio of me like checking it out. So that's going to be fun. All right, that's it. So we will be back on deck tomorrow for the big wrap-up of Game 1 for you. But in the meantime, make sure you're following NBA Straya on Twitter, Facey, IG, TikTok, and YouTube. We'll do one more NBA coffee run for you tomorrow morning. It's going to be fun doing NBA coffee run from the States, I'll tell you. NFL Australia, myself and Gaz. We've also got Footy Unfilterated. Myself and Jez are taping that tonight to wrap up the AFL Round 10, which is pretty crazy. So if you like your Footy Unfilterated, go subscribe everywhere to those shows, as well as Jim does Supercoach, the AFL Supercoach show. We're going to have that up later today as well, I think. That'll be fun. So rate, review, subscribe across all your podcast apps. Jump on the YouTube as well. Say g'day. Jump in the comments. You're much appreciated. Also, support the show. buymeacoffee.com/NBA Straya. And you can help support the show. You can join the Dead Set Legends Club. Big thanks always go to From Oslo for the intro and outro song. They rule. So do House Hats, Joshua Delarentis, Fascinator Goldmines, Ram Shakalami, iOS Sex Shadow, Green, and Dozers. They're behind all the tunes you hear throughout the show. Smash them on Bandcamp, Triple J and Earth, Facey, Apple Music, Spotify. Your music streaming platform of choice, obviously. But that's it. NBA Straya Sports Australian Bands. All right, nothing at the end of this one because I've got to get out of here and go get the squids. We will catch you tomorrow, you dickheads. This is NBA Straya saying, look after yourselves, would ya? Hug your mates, and later, hosen.